Alright, so today I'm gonna be working on the black truck, the OBS. I'm gonna take the bed off and I'm gonna go ahead and put a new fuel pump in it. That way I don't have to do it later. And run that little bit of line from the fuel pump to the fuel filter. And then after that I'm gonna go ahead and paint the frame all the way underneath the bed, and I'm gonna crawl up underneath the cab and paint that. I'm gonna paint it with rust prevention paint, this, and it's to keep it from rusting, which there's really not rust on it. I mean, it's, if there is, it's surface rust. So I'm gonna get started on that. Alright guys, so there's 6 bolts. One right here. There's one right here, which that one's missing. And there's one on each end, so vice versa for the other side. And they are 18mm bolts. There's another one, and it looks like there was one here too, so there's 8. Alright, so I got all the bolts taken out. The side on the gas tank side, one of them just would not break loose, so I end up going to getting a ratchet, and took me a second, but I finally got that broke free. The last thing I need to take off is this gas tank, all these bolts. It's this one, and this one, to release the gas Phillip nozzle, because I don't want to take it loose from the gas tank. But so I'm gonna do that, and then I gotta clean up the bed, and then we can get ready to pull this off. We got the bed off, and it's really dirty. There's the bed. So right now I'm about to pressure wash all this dirt and grime off of it. Try to get it as clean as possible, Then I might start sanding on it, try to get some of the real thick rust spots off of it, and then I'm gonna get ready to paint it. That goofy ass. Alright. So, it knocked off a lot of the rust and all of the dirt and grime. Look at the tank. Look how dirty it was compared to it now. But yeah, it's still got a lot. I'm gonna let this dry, and then I might take a block sander to it and sand down some of the spots. But yeah, that's how it looks right now. Alright guys, so I just got done painting the frame with that rust protection paint, and this is how it came out. And also, I was replacing the fuel pump, and go with a bigger fuel pump for our LS motor. And where is it at? Well, I ended up having to go get a whole new assembly, because I guess the owner of the truck that had it before me, they broke this part. And they tried to, it looks like fiberglass resin it to it, but it didn't help, because as you can see, it's still. So I seen that and I was like, okay, well, I might as well go get a new one. That way I don't have no problems out of it. And we got that. We swapped over the fuel pump and we got it installed, which you can see, brand new. It has a wiggle, which has a little bit, but I need to spin those around and tighten those up. But right now I'm gonna take a break and let this dry. It says on the can to let it dry from 2 to 6 hours before touching it. And that way it fully dries, because this is like an oil-based paint. But so that's the update on that. Alright guys, so I didn't really record me painting the frame, so here it is. So the only reason why I didn't paint this is because this is part of the bumper, and I'm getting a new one because the other one, it got ripped off from the welds. So that's the only reason why I didn't paint this. So this has been about a solid week. I did this last weekend, and this is the weekend after. So it's had plenty of time to dry and cure. So I don't think it's going nowhere. But throughout the week, I had a fitting come in that I needed, and it is right here. This fitting, and this is the last fitting that I need for the fuel lines. Hook up the fuel lines, because if you can see, this one's bigger than this one. This one's a 5/8 thread, and this one's 3/8, and this is the one I didn't have. So after looking and looking and looking, I finally found one. So it's 3/8 female threads to 5/16 male threads. So I can put this on and put this 6 A&N adapter line, which I still got to screw this in. As you can see, this screws in onto this, and that's just gonna hook up to that 3/8 line, and it's gonna run to the fuel filter. That is the last part on the fuel that I need to do, because I already ran the other ones all the way up. Use this connector to the fuel line. Fuel line's already in. I still need to go to the junkyard and find the bracket for this that mounts to here, and this clips on. That way it'd be tight, because right now it's loose. I gotta do that. After I get this fuel line hooked up, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the bed back on it. Or actually, I might sand all this down and shoot it with a primer, and then I'm gonna set the bed onto it, bolt it down. Alright guys, so when you're going to put the A&N fittings on, what I do is I try to shove as much in there as I can, and then I push it and go backwards. And if you can look down in there, you can see it, how it's butted up. Once you make sure it's all the way in there, you take this part, stick it in there, because it has this beveled in, and this side goes into the pipe, and then once it catches threads, you just want to make sure whenever you're tightening it in, it don't pull this off. You want to make sure it's all the way on there. So just push it. Once you feel it start to go in there, you take your wrenches, put your wrenches on it, and then just tighten it down in there. You want to make sure it's tight. And once it's all the way on there, you can't even pull it off. Start stretching the hose. That's how you know it's all the way on there, and you're good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put this fitting on, I'm gonna run it down, I'm gonna get underneath there, and I'm gonna mark it to where it needs to be. the top, run it down where it needs to be. So as you can see, I already got the fuel filter put on. Alright guys, so what I did was I just fished it through here by the gas tank. I pulled it to where it needed to be, and I put a little bit of a cut into it. That way I know where I need to be cut at. And so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it all back off. I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna cut it, and I can put this fitting back on there. Take both these fittings off. And then I can put them on there, and whenever I go back to put it back in, it'll be done, and all I gotta do is tighten everything up. So as you can see, there's a little bitty cut right there. That way I know where I need to be cut at. Alright, so I just cut it off, and we're gonna do the same thing as we did on this side. We're gonna push this and we're gonna thread it, or back thread it onto there. That way it can slide all the way in there. And be careful, because there is some metal braids in here, and they will stab you, and it don't feel too good. Okay, so as you can see, it's pressed all the way up in there. We're gonna take this. Start threading it back in there. just like that, you're done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and press the other ones onto the other strand, because as you can see, they're pretty much almost the same length. So you can see this one's actually a little bit longer, and that ain't gonna hurt it. So I'm gonna go ahead and press those on to those. That way I don't have to do it. Here in a second. I already tightened these on here. Tightened all of them on there. I ran them down. Now I'm about to crawl up underneath there and hook them up to the fuel filter. comes up, I gotta go up there and strap that. Make sure that don't hang. But see how it runs down? It's actually gonna prop up and go on the frame rail up. And I might run it over this, the way it keeps it from turning down. But well, fuel filter, fuel pump, and the fuel lines are done.